code machine called the Enigma machine, used by Nazi Germany in World War II to send secret coded messages. So let me show you how this machine works.
I'm always amazed by the number of statistics and numbers they're able to throw at you during the game. How do they do that? Who's recording it? Now in this film I want to give you some idea just how much information they collect for every kick, every header, every miss kick, everything that happens on the field.
What is the difference between butter and margarine, and is one healthier than the other? The not so shocking truth is that pornography has profound consequences for the brain and acts in many ways like a drug. With prolonged exposure, your tolerance is increased and many often find themselves addicted.
The universe. How big is it? Does it have a center? Does it have an edge? Is it getting bigger? And if so, why?
If you actually tried to picture Graves' number in your head, then your head would collapse to form a black hole. That's not just some sort of crazy sort of pictorial image. It would. There'd be too much. You couldn't store that much information in your head.
I mean, we know that there is an absolute zero, but is there an absolute hot? A point at which something is so hot it can't get any hotter.
Cold and nice room temperature.
What if I told you that these two objects are actually the same temperature? What would you say?
Definitely not. If you take the temperature right now, this is colder.
Trees are some of the biggest organisms on the planet. But where do they get that matter to grow?
It's nutrients out the ground.
Just out of the soil, really, yeah.
Goodness out of the soil, I suppose.
Comes out of the soil?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Why isn't there a big hole around the tree where it's taken out all the soil?
Does it say gradually that the soil has time to recover?
The view counter rise and rise and rise, and then it will get to 301 and it will freeze. And it will stay on 301 for a day, maybe half a day, and then it will start counting to higher numbers as usual.
So how do we work out the maximum length of straw that you could suck through vertically?
3, 2, 1. There you have, Nigel is starting to suck on that straw. There he goes.
What is a candle flame really made of?
But if I put it around the flame, we'll see if we can get a bigger spark to happen. Look at that. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the time when they tried to redefine pi? When it was to redefine pi so that it was 3.2. This is the problem Will Hunting had. 10 dots. How many ways are there to do it? Now talk about one of the great unsolved problems in mathematics that went back to the ancient Greeks. The question is, can you make a square with the same area as a circle?
It's a question that has perplexed humanity from as early as the ancient Greeks all the way to the 21st century, and we're still dying to know. Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
I've got a question for you. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Brilliant question. Let's find out why.
On those cold, rainy days when you forget your rain jacket or umbrella and you want to stay as dry as possible, should you walk and spend more time in the rain? Or should you run, which means you'll be hitting more raindrops from the side?
The reason it's called royal water is because it dissolves gold. Gold has fascinated people for thousands of years because it doesn't dissolve in anything, doesn't tarnish, always looks nice and shiny. The reaction of sodium with water is terribly well known.
We can actually hit this thing with a hammer and it won't break. You can try as hard as you can to break the bulb, but you can't. But if you even nick the tail, the entire thing will explode, not shatter.